The monthly meeting of the Fairfield Glade Community Club Board of Directors will come to order. Due to the CDC guidelines and COVID-19 public health advisories for social distancing, this morning's Board of Directors meeting is open to the members of the board, key staff members, and only limited observers. This meeting is being recorded, and the video will be posted on the Community Club website for member viewing. Now, to honor America, please join me in standing for the Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence to remember those who are serving in uniform and those who have been affected by the COVID-19 virus. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Pat, please call the roll of the members of the board.
Mr. Birdsall. Mrs. Chalfont.
Present.
Mr. Cox.
Here.
Mr. Floral.
Here.
Ms. Galloway. Here. Mrs. Miller.
Here.
Mr. Smith. Mr. Chairman, there are 5 board members present, therefore there is a quorum.
Thank you, Pat. May I have a motion to approve the minutes of the prior board meeting held on June 25th, 2020?
So moved.
Is there a second?
A second.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The minutes for the June 25th meeting are approved. This morning in the audience we have a number of distinguished guests. First we have the Mayor of Cumberland County, Alan Foster. Our 9th District Commissioner, Colleen Mall, was there, okay. And then also the current 6th District Commissioner, Joe Sherrill, is in the back for us there. So welcome, and if anyone would like to make comments, you're welcome to address the group.
Can you hear me? All right. Thank you again for letting me be here this morning. Have just a very brief couple comments here. The county's budget committee continues to do work towards completing our budget. I believe that the committee will finish with that work tonight in their meeting. It's been a low growth to zero growth budget. They've been very strict on that, but we have had a couple of good wins for the EMS improvements. At this point, there are 4 Lucas devices in the budget, and those are, for lack of a better term, they're a vest that they strap on the person, and it does the chest compression so they can free their hands up to do other work, and those are have been proven to save lives. And so we're getting 4 of those. And additionally, as of Tuesday, 2 new paramedics were added. So that will allow us to have another day truck during our peak hours. If all goes well, that is still subject to the approval of the full commission sometime this month. Couple more months when I'm here, I'm going to be mentioning the census to you. I've been talking about it forever, it seems. You may have seen the census team at the Village Green Mall yesterday. They're out trying to get interest. Cumberland County's numbers are still a bit low. We are at 60.1% response rate. Tennessee overall is 61.7%, and just as a reference to another county, Putnam County is at 65.6%. So if you don't fill it out, starting August, probably somewhere around August 11th is when they will start doing door knocking for response follow-up. Quick word about masks. I do encourage people to wear masks when they can't social distance. It's not a mandate, it is an encouragement. You can get a free one at the health department from 8 to 4:30, Monday through Friday. Or if you like the one that I had on wherever I put it, there, you can get these online at tnmask.gov, I believe it is. tnmasksupply.com. So that's what I have for today. If there are any questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor, for coming out this morning. We appreciate it. Colleen or Joe, did either one of you want to make any comments? Okay. Very good. All right, very good then. The next item on the agenda is an update from the election committee. We do this last month. We did it. We're doing it today, and then we will do it again in August. And Dennis, I believe, is here to do the update from the election committee.
That's always a nice way to start. Good morning. We currently have 6 candidates running for 2 at-large spots. You're probably aware of all of that. All of the questions from the general public have been submitted, and we're going through those now to select the questions that will be asked to the candidates. The virtual Meet the Candidates Night is a week from today, July 30th at 6:30. You can't come, but you can watch it on the websites. All of the equipment for that night has arrived, and we're going through it, doing tests on it to make sure that it's working well. The candidates will be asked to come at 5:30 to kind of familiarize themselves with the equipment and the process. I don't think we're going to tell them anything prior to that, so they'll be nervous. But it should run well, and the good thing about it is if we have a little snag in there, we can always stop. It doesn't have to be live, and it doesn't have to be, going on concurrently. So if they need to take a break, we can do that. That will be July 30th, next week. And then the election opens on August 10th and runs through September 4th. And at that point, that will end, and the results of the election will be announced at the annual meeting on September 18th. Are there any questions? I'll try it. Yes. I can't hear you.
We have 6 people running.
Yes.
Going off the board.
Phil Birdsall has decided not to run for a second term, and Steve Smith is completing his second term. So it'll be Phil and Steve that will be going off the board.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Thank you. Try to get that back.
Snaps in, Dennis. Should snap in.
Yes.
Okay, the next item on the agenda are the comments that I'd like to share from across the board. And I'm going to start with those were the good old days. Most of us can remember those good old days when rational individuals could engage in civil conversations and reach reasonable solutions when discussing the issues of the day. Today, it seems like those memories have faded into a distant past. Somehow we have moved to a point where every topic, every issue is seen through a polarized political lens. There are those who would have us embrace radical, far-reaching fundamental change, and then there are those who would have us cling to the past and turn the clock back to a simpler time and place. Compromise is considered a dirty word, and now if you agree with me 100%, you are a friend, and if you don't agree with me, you are a foe. Every topic or issue is either black and white. There are no longer any shades of gray. A discussion of how we got to this point in society could go on for hours and probably would result in no agreement on anything of substance. The path forward for all of us is filled with uncertainty. But one thing for certain is that we will all move in one direction or another because nothing remains the same and time waits for no one. The question we must ask ourselves is how will we embrace the challenges and the changes that lie ahead of us? This morning, like every day over the past several months, each of us are faced with the individual choice of how we will exercise our personal responsibility in dealing with the impact of the coronavirus. Our hope is that you will not look at this issue through your polarized political lens, but rather consider responding in a way that is reasonable and focused on protecting yourself, your family, your friends, and your neighbors. We all want to be able to gather in groups, and we would all like to stop wearing face coverings, stop excessively washing our hands, and stop sanitizing everything we touch. Unfortunately, the virus is out there among us, and we must remain vigilant if there is any hope of returning to those good old days. We have taken a pause in our reopening strategy timeline, and movement to the next phase of our strategy will be determined based upon additional public health advisories or guidance and the impact our reopening activities have on our community. The board will continue to meet weekly to reevaluate our actions as situations develop. We remain cautiously optimistic that we will be able to continue to move through our reopening strategy towards business as usual. However, we must continue to follow all the public health advisories and will continue to act in the best interest of the community as a whole. It is always your individual decision as to whether or not you feel comfortable using our facilities. We have shared many times these 5 key principles that everyone should remember and follow for the foreseeable future. Everyone will need to practice the recommended social distancing guidelines. Face coverings are recommended whenever you are in the company of others. Wash your hands every time you touch something you haven't cleaned. Sanitize all high-touch surfaces frequently, and stay at home if you feel sick. So let's all make good choices out there. Decision time is approaching. As we mentioned last month, we are fortunate to have multiple candidates seeking the 2 community club director-at-large positions. As Dennis mentioned, on Thursday, July 30th, there will be a virtual Meet the Candidates event, and that will be recorded and made available for viewing on the community club website, as well as be available for viewing here in the community conference center. The community club, as community club members, each of us has the responsibility to do our homework on each of the candidates. The candidates' applications are posted on the community club website, as are their answers to the questions that were posed by this year's election committee, and you will be able to view their performance at the virtual Meet the Candidates Night event. Research positions on topics you feel are important, and then make an informed decision relative to which candidate deserves your support, and more importantly, which candidate deserves your vote. Balloting for the director-at-large positions begins on Monday, August 10th, and continues until Friday, September 4th. Your vote is important because the future of Fairfield Glade depends on it, and the results of our election will be announced at the Community Club annual meeting on Friday, September 18th. As a reminder, political signage or any messaging of a political nature is not permitted in any manner on individual property or on common property within Fairfield Glade. This applies to political causes, issues, elections for our local board of directors, as well as county, state, and national elections. Here are the latest updates on our major capital projects. Construction on the new Mirror Lake Entertainment Pavilion will continue into August. The sewer department has completed relocating the sewer lines in the area of the pavilion, and work on the pathways from the parking areas into the gathering area, as well as the plaza in front of the pavilion, will begin in the near future. The Stonehenge Clubhouse, that's Phase 2, the kitchen and exterior renovation project, is in the planning process, and the Major Capital Projects Committee received architectural drawings and shared them at our June board meeting. The project is scheduled to go out for bid in August. The Racket Center renovation. Major Capital Projects Committee has worked with the project architect and the low bid contractor for the initial plans to come up with additional options to achieve our goals while lowering the cost of the project. The revised architectural drawings for the project will be shared today, and revised cost estimates are expected in September. Robin Hood Park expansion. The initial clearing and the Phase 1 planning process is proceeding. We are soliciting bids to complete the initial clearing of the area and the Phase 1 projects that include refurbishing the existing pavilions and facilities, in addition to creating a new parking lot so that we can proceed once the Peavine Road work is completed in that area. And that is our update from across the board. And with that, the next item on the agenda is the general manager's update. Bob?
Okay, thank you. For the police department building, we're not going to start doing any paving in that parking lot until Rogers Group does the paving off of Peavine, the ramps into the parking lot, so we can coordinate all that and make sure that they don't end up messing up some of the work we've already done. So we're waiting on them to start that work in the parking lot. The only other thing is year-to-date golf rounds for 2020 through last month in, we're about 37,000 rounds. That's 26,000 rounds less than budget and 24,000 rounds less than 2019, all due to our shutdown as a result of COVID-19. The average rounds per course per day open were 95 compared to 105 in 2019. Again, that's due to the shutdown. Typically each year we're seeing the rounds per day increasing, but not this year. So that's all I have.
Okay, thanks, Bob. The next item on the agenda is the resort report from Diana Chalfant.
Good morning. Our timeshare guests have enjoyed getting out and away from their homes and have indicated they've had a very positive experience at Wyndham Fairfield Glade. Our guests appreciated the convenience and safety of the drive-through check-in tents that we put up and the promptness of the check-in experience, which enabled them to get to their newly redone and upgraded units more promptly. During the month of July, we have averaged 75% occupancy, which would amount to about 335 of our 447 units being occupied by approximately 1,100 to 1,200 guests each week. Prior to a guest's arrival, we send a text message explaining the cleanliness procedures we have implemented during this difficult COVID-19 pandemic. In our communication, we further outline all the amenities and activities that are available for them during their stay. We explain the drive-up curb service check-in, the guest pool reservation procedures, and we outline all the wonderful opportunities and recreation availability in our area. Our team members also encourage our guests to take advantage of the many enjoyable activities at our marinas, which conveniently do not require reservations. Current hospitality research shows that most families want to go to a location they can drive, that has a lot of outdoor activities, and has implemented the proper cleanliness and safety procedures. And we fit that bill perfectly. Some of our guests have even brought their own badminton and other outside games. And of course, our guests have enjoyed our pleasant weather by playing miniature golf, walking on our trails, and many have played our outstanding golf courses. As we are celebrating the 50th year of Fairfield Glade, I would like to review with you our commitment to the community that has been demonstrated initially by Fairfield and currently by Wyndham Destination Resorts. Fairfield started building timeshares in the late 1970s. They built Kensington Woods first, and over a period of 30 years added more and more units, culminating with the latest association, Nottingham Villas. In 2013, we opened the new Wyndham Fairfield Glade Check-In and Sales Center facility. This building, with furniture, fixtures, and equipment, cost $3,650,000. This is a very large commitment by a very large company, which says Fairfield Glade is a place many people want to come. If you've lived in the Glade for the last 7 or 10 years, I know you've noticed the true transformation of our timeshare facilities. Some of these facilities were 25, even 30 years old. And as homeowners, we all agree those repairs and renovation projects can be very time-consuming, very expensive, and sometimes full of surprises. Since 2014, our timeshare owners have made a substantial investment in Fairfield Glade. 6 of the 8 associations have completed total structural renovations, which consist of new roofs, new siding, new windows, doors, HVAC, and total renovation of antiquated bathrooms. These renovations also included interior remodeling and repair of the units, as well as total furniture, appliance, and decor makeover. The first remodel in 2014 cost a little over $2 million. Over the next 7 years, we spent the following amount of money for renovation projects. 2015, $5,358,000. 2016, $5,410,000. 2017, $8,400,000. 2017, $8,400,000. 2018, $8,700,000. 2019, $7,840,000. In this year, we have spent $5,080. Due to the pandemic, 2 of our associations have delayed their interior renovations because they could not get the furniture, the soft goods, the mattresses, everything in this year. And so they will complete their refurb, their interior design refurb, in 2021, which will cost $2,500,000. One of the things I appreciate about our timeshare boards is they understand in order for guests to come to our resorts, the facility has to be well taken care of. It needs to be a place owners will be proud to share with their family and friends, and they want their timeshare to continue to maintain the value of their investment. Those criteria sound similar to what we want in our own homes. The mission of the Community Club Board shares the same philosophy the timeshare boards have adopted. Maintain our properties, make improvements, provide a variety of amenities so guests will want to come and share in our lovely, gracious environment where we live, while maintaining the investment in our homes and in the club. Over the past 8 years, the timeshare owners and Wyndham Resorts have made a $46 million investment in the Glade. We will be inviting residents who wish to tour some of our newly renovated properties to attend a resort tour in September. I will announce the date via the newspaper and on the Community Club website. We will ask people who wish to come and visit our units to sign